What if everything you worked for could vanish in an instant, all because of one bad movie? Megan Fox, Brendan Fraser, and even Katherine Heigl, once Hollywood's darlings, faced this brutal truth. From outrageous comments to career-destroying flops, the cost of a single misstep was devastating. How did they fall so far? Keep watching as we uncover the shocking reasons these stars were blacklisted and the aftermath that Hollywood never wanted you to know. Megan Fox. Megan Fox was on top of the world after Transformers, one of the biggest blockbusters of the 2000s. But in Jennifer's Body and Jonah Hex, Fox's career took a nosedive. Despite her rising star power, Jennifer's Body, a dark comedy horror film by Diablo Cody, failed at the box office. The real nail in the coffin came from Fox's infamous comments about director Michael Bay. In a 2009 interview, Fox compared him to Hitler, claiming he was a tyrant on set. The backlash was immediate. Hollywood, known for its conservative approach to off-screen behavior, quickly turned its back on her. What should have been a promising career was stunted by a simple misstep in both her film choices and public remarks. Fox disappeared from major studio roles, and it wasn't until much later that she slowly rebuilt her career in smaller, more niche projects. She became a prime example of how a combination of a bad movie and an ill-timed comment can send even the brightest stars tumbling into obscurity. Taylor Kitsch. Taylor Kitsch was Hollywood's new golden boy in the early 2010s, with the promise of a successful career ahead. But John Carter and Battleship in 2012 killed that momentum in brutal fashion. John Carter, a highly ambitious and expensive Disney film, was expected to be a box office juggernaut. Instead, it tanked, losing hundreds of millions of dollars. Battleship followed the same path, failing both critically and commercially. These two back-to-back flops sent Kitsch's career into a freefall. Hollywood had placed a massive bet on him, and the disastrous outcomes left studios wary of casting him in major roles. Despite his undeniable talent and potential, Kitsch found himself blacklisted from leading blockbuster films. The dream was over. Hollywood's obsession with box office performance left no room for failure, and Kitsch was one of its most notable casualties. Though he's remained active in smaller projects, the intense backlash from these films still lingers over his career, a stark reminder of the fragility of fame in the unforgiving world of blockbuster cinema. Jake Lloyd. Jake Lloyd's career came to a screeching halt after his portrayal of young Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars, Episode I, The Phantom Menace. The film was a massive cultural event, but Lloyd's performance as the iconic character drew harsh criticism. The backlash was swift and brutal. Fans and critics alike slammed his portrayal, labeling him one of the weakest aspects of the film. The public's harsh treatment was so intense that it led Lloyd to step away from acting entirely. He later cited the overwhelming pressure, bullying, and public scorn as key factors in his decision to leave Hollywood. His story is a tragic one, as he was only 10 years old at the time. The Phantom Menace was supposed to launch his career, but instead, it crushed it under the weight of public scrutiny. Lloyd's retirement from acting is a sobering reminder of how the unforgiving nature of fame can destroy a young career, leaving the child actor behind with little more than painful memories of being publicly ridiculed. Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser was once one of the most beloved actors in Hollywood. His roles in the Mummy series and George of the Jungle had made him a household name. But after the success of The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor in 2008, Fraser's career took a drastic turn. It wasn't just the films that faltered, it was a deeply personal revelation. In 2008, Fraser came forward with allegations that he had been sexually assaulted by a powerful Hollywood figure, and the industry reacted with cold indifference. He went from being a leading man to being blacklisted from major Hollywood roles. His career was essentially frozen for nearly a decade, as Fraser found himself struggling both personally and professionally. It wasn't until recent years, with roles in The Whale and renewed interest in his past work, that Fraser began to make a comeback. His story is not just one of career failure, but also of resilience in the face of personal tragedy and industry apathy, making his eventual return all the more poignant and well-earned. Gina Carano. Gina Carano's rise to fame was as fast as her fall. Initially gaining attention for her roles in action films and The Mandalorian, Carano's career took a dramatic hit after a series of controversial social media posts. Her posts, which compared the current political climate to Nazi Germany and made light of sensitive topics, led to her being fired by Disney. The decision to remove her from The Mandalorian sparked a huge backlash, with fans and critics divided over whether the firing was warranted. However, for Carano, it was the beginning of a complete Hollywood blacklisting. Disney's decision had a domino effect, with many other major studios distancing themselves from her. Despite finding some work in independent projects, Carano's career in mainstream Hollywood was effectively destroyed by her outspoken political views. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the power of social media in shaping not just public opinion, but the future of one's career. Carano may have found a niche following, but her potential for major roles was forever dimmed by her controversial comments. Mira Sorvino. Mira Sorvino was once one of the most promising actresses in Hollywood, earning critical acclaim for her role in Mighty Aphrodite, which won her an Academy Award. But her career came crashing down after she rejected the advances of Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein. Sorvino later revealed that her refusal to comply with Weinstein's advances led to her being blacklisted in Hollywood. Director Peter Jackson corroborated Sorvino's claims, stating that Weinstein had deliberately sabotaged her career, blocking her from roles in major films. The allegation of being blacklisted became one of the most glaring examples of the power dynamics at play in Hollywood, where personal rejection and the whims of influential figures could decide the fate of an actor's career. Sorvino, who was once a highly sought-after star, found herself shut out of Hollywood's inner circle for years. This was compounded by the toxic atmosphere of harassment that Weinstein perpetuated in the industry, which made it difficult for women who spoke out to advance. Sorvino's career floundered in the 2000s, but she eventually made a return with a resurgence in television and independent films. Her story is not just about blacklisting. It's a powerful statement on the personal and professional costs of standing up to a Hollywood titan. While she continues to work, the scars of being systematically frozen out of an industry she had once ruled remain, marking her as both a victim and a symbol of resistance against abuse. Jim Caviezel. Jim Caviezel's career was soaring after his portrayal of Jesus Christ in The Passion of the Christ, which became one of the most successful rated films in history. However, despite his performance being widely praised, Caviezel's career took an unexpected nosedive. After the immense success of the film, Caviezel became a target for blacklisting in Hollywood, partly due to his outspoken Christian faith and controversial views on social and political issues. In interviews, he expressed how his career in Hollywood was essentially shut down post-Passion. Although he continued to take on roles, the projects were mostly small-scale, and he struggled to regain the widespread A-list status that the film had once promised him. The backlash against his personal beliefs, combined with the industry's reluctance to cast him in major films, led to a significant period of isolation from the Hollywood elite. Despite his struggles, Caviezel refused to conform to Hollywood's secular agenda, instead opting for roles that aligned with his beliefs, such as his performance in The Stoning of Soraya M. and Angel Eyes. While he has never fully reclaimed the widespread recognition he had hoped for, Caviezel's determination to stay true to his convictions made him a polarizing figure in Hollywood. His blacklisting story is a reflection of how personal beliefs and political stances can be just as powerful a factor in an actor's career as talent or performance. Katherine Heigl. Katherine Heigl was poised for superstardom after her breakout role in Grey's Anatomy and a string of successful romantic comedies, including 27 Dresses. However, her outspoken comments about Knocked Up, the 2007 hit she starred in, became the turning point in her career. Heigl, who played the female lead in the film, publicly criticized the movie for its portrayal of women, calling it sexist. Her comments about the film were seen as both unprofessional and ungrateful, especially given the success the movie had at the box office. The backlash was immediate, and Heigl quickly earned a reputation for being difficult to work with. The industry, which thrives on positive relationships and collaboration, began to shy away from casting her in major films. In the years that followed, Heigl's career took a steep decline, with fewer and fewer opportunities in Hollywood. While she found success in television with the show State of Affairs, her time as a leading lady in blockbuster films seemed to be over. Heigl's story serves as a cautionary tale of how speaking out can have serious consequences in an industry that values silence and compliance. Her public criticism of a successful project, paired with rumors of diva-like behavior, led to her being largely blacklisted from major roles. Although she remains a popular figure on television, her brief time as an A-list star remains a reminder of how quickly the tides can turn in Hollywood. Paula Deen. In 2013, celebrity chef Paula Deen's career came to a screeching halt after she admitted to using racial slurs in a deposition. The fallout from this admission was swift and severe. Deen, who had built a massive empire on her Southern cooking show and cookbooks, was immediately dropped by the Food Network, and she lost endorsement deals with major companies like Walmart and Target. The scandal sparked widespread outrage, and Deen's image as a beloved Southern cook was shattered. Despite issuing a public apology, the damage to her career was irreversible, with Deen fading from the mainstream media spotlight. Her story became one of the most prominent examples of how a moment of personal indiscretion can have catastrophic effects in today's hyper-aware social climate. Deen's case also highlights how quickly public opinion can turn against a once celebrated figure, especially when issues of race and discrimination are involved. Although she made attempts to revive her career with a YouTube channel and a few TV appearances, her brand was never fully able to recover from the tarnish of her remarks. Paula Deen's fall from grace serves as a stark reminder of the power of public opinion and the consequences of words in an age where cancel culture can destroy even the most entrenched celebrity careers. Michael Richards. Michael Richards, best known for playing the beloved character Cosmo Kramer on Seinfeld, saw his career crumble after a shocking outburst during a stand-up comedy performance in 2006. During a routine at the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles, Richards went into a racist rant against a heckler, using the N-word repeatedly. The outburst was caught on camera and went viral, igniting a firestorm of criticism. Richards' career, which had been riding high due to the enduring popularity of Seinfeld, took a rapid nosedive. The comedy world and Hollywood at large were stunned by the incident, and Richards was immediately blacklisted from major shows and projects. The public's outrage was swift and unforgiving, as his long-standing status as a beloved TV star evaporated in minutes. Although Richards publicly apologized for his actions, the damage was done. He struggled to regain his place in the entertainment industry, with his once promising career reduced to occasional minor roles in television and film. Richards' downfall serves as a reminder of how quickly an actor can fall from grace, especially when their personal actions contradict the image they've carefully cultivated. His public racist outburst will forever remain a dark stain on his legacy, overshadowing his comedic achievements and marking him as one of Hollywood's most significant casualties of public scandal. Rose McGowan. Rose McGowan was once a prominent figure in Hollywood, known for her roles in Charmed and Scream. However, her career took a dramatic turn after she became one of the first women to accuse Harvey Weinstein of sexual assault in 2017. McGowan's bravery sparked the Me Too movement, but it also led to her blacklisting from Hollywood. As one of the early whistleblowers, McGowan faced an immediate backlash from the industry. Weinstein's connections were vast, and many believed that McGowan was punished for speaking out against the powerful producer. McGowan claimed that her career was intentionally frozen after she rejected Weinstein's advances. This was corroborated by several prominent industry insiders, adding credence to her accusations. Her story of being blacklisted became symbolic of the systemic abuse that was rampant in Hollywood at the time. Despite being an activist and speaking out against injustice, McGowan found herself excluded from major studio films and television projects. Hollywood, in its efforts to protect its most powerful figures, effectively silenced her. While McGowan continued to work in smaller, independent projects, she struggled to regain her former status. Her career serves as a powerful testament to the price of speaking out against an industry known for its culture of silence and complicity. McGowan's experience highlights the personal toll that comes with challenging the status quo and exposes the industry's dark side that many actors dare not reveal. Thora Birch. Thora Birch had a promising career in the 1990s thanks to memorable performances in films like American Beauty and Hocus Pocus. However, her career began to unravel after a series of professional setbacks and personal issues. In 2010, Birch was fired from a play due to her father's behavior, which was reportedly disruptive and unprofessional. This incident marked the beginning of a significant downturn in her career. Hollywood, known for being unforgiving when it comes to behavior on set, quickly turned its back on her. Despite her early success and critical acclaim, Birch found it increasingly difficult to land significant roles in major films. Her reputation for being difficult to work with, combined with the controversy surrounding her father, led to her being sidelined in Hollywood. Birch's story is a cautionary tale of how personal and professional issues can derail the trajectory of a promising career. While she still occasionally appears in smaller, independent projects, she never fully regained the momentum she had in the late 1990s. Her fall from grace serves as a stark reminder that talent alone isn't always enough to secure long-term success in Hollywood. Your personal reputation and on-set behavior play a significant role in determining whether or not you remain in the industry's good graces. Hayden Christensen. Hayden Christensen's career was set to skyrocket after his portrayal of Anakin Skywalker in the Star Wars prequels, but the intense backlash to his performances became one of the most significant factors in his blacklisting from major Hollywood films. While Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith were successful at the box office, Christensen's portrayal of Anakin received harsh criticism from both fans and critics. His wooden delivery and lack of emotional depth in the character left many fans disappointed, especially given the iconic nature of the Star Wars saga. The negative reception led to a significant slowdown in Christensen's career, with Hollywood studios hesitant to cast him in leading roles. Despite his talent, Christensen was unable to escape the shadow of Star Wars, and his attempts to break away into different genres failed to generate significant interest. He found himself relegated to smaller, less visible projects, which did little to reignite his star power. However, Christensen's recent return to the Star Wars universe with Obi-Wan Kenobi and other projects has sparked new interest in his career, allowing him to make a gradual comeback. His story highlights the long-lasting effects of critical backlash and the difficulty in escaping a role as iconic as Anakin Skywalker. The journey from the Star Wars prequels to relative obscurity and back again speaks to both the endurance of the franchise and the fleeting nature of fame in Hollywood. Elizabeth Berkley. Elizabeth Berkley was a familiar face on television thanks to her role as the wholesome, all-American girl, Jessie Spano, on Saved by the Bell. But in 1995, she took a sharp turn when she starred in Showgirls, a film directed by Paul Verhoeven that aimed to be a bold, erotic drama. However, it quickly became infamous for its over-the-top performances, melodramatic plot, and graphic content. Despite the film's attempt to be a provocative commentary on the Las Vegas entertainment world, Showgirls was panned by critics and dismissed by audiences. The movie, which was meant to launch Berkley into stardom, instead tanked both critically and commercially. Berkley's portrayal of Nomi Malone, a struggling dancer determined to rise to the top of the Vegas showgirl scene, was seen as laughable and excessive. Instead of the breakthrough role she anticipated, Showgirls became one of the most notorious flops in Hollywood history. The backlash was swift. Hollywood's view of Berkley drastically changed, and she struggled to secure any significant roles in mainstream films. The movie's failure, along with its unflattering portrayal of the actress's acting abilities, cast a long shadow over her career. After Showgirls, Berkley shifted to smaller TV roles, trying to shake off the stigma, but the damage had already been done. Over the years, Showgirls developed a cult following, and Berkley gained a degree of redemption, often appearing in self-aware, comedic roles that poked fun at her past. Nonetheless, Showgirls remains an indelible part of her legacy, illustrating how a single film can trap an actor in a box they struggled to escape from, despite their later efforts to move beyond it. Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith, the son of Hollywood power couple Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, was once seen as a rising star after his breakout role in The Pursuit of Happiness alongside his father. But in 2013, After Earth, a science fiction film produced and starring his father, was released with huge expectations. The film, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, was heavily marketed, with the Smith family's star power pushing it to the forefront. However, After Earth was a colossal flop. The film's plot was muddled, the acting flat, and the direction lackluster. Jaden's performance as the protagonist, Kitai Rage, was widely criticized, with many critics claiming that his character lacked depth and emotion, leading to a lack of audience engagement. Despite the heavy promotional push, After Earth grossed far below expectations, marking one of the biggest box office disappointments of the year. The backlash was swift and brutal, with Jaden being blamed for much of the film's failure. Hollywood, already wary of nepotism in the industry, grew skeptical of casting him in lead roles, and his career stalled. Even with his famous family backing him, Jaden's career was left in limbo after Earth. The film, despite the family's best efforts, was seen as a significant setback for Jaden's career. While he continues to work in other creative endeavors, including music and fashion, After Earth serves as a clear reminder of the fragility of fame and how a single failure can derail even the most promising of careers. The film's failure and Jaden's struggle to reclaim his place in Hollywood encapsulate the harsh realities of the industry's cutthroat nature, especially when expectations collide with disappointing results. The rise and fall of these stars serve as a powerful reminder of the unforgiving nature of Hollywood. One bad movie, a controversial remark, or a personal mistake can change everything. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories of fame, scandal, and redemption. Comment below, do you think any of these stars deserve a comeback? Let us know.